sales are down again. My office now.
A lot of great approaches to maintaining the latent frustration and intensity that eventually explodes into violence throughout the piece. I thought it had a good sense of pacing, and I thought that the cinematic approach reflected the misery that the man was going through, and I thought there was an approach to silence that I thought worked quite well for the piece, especially throughout the open. And I thought that the interaction between the two of them created a very surreal, hyper realistic a dynamic combined with the black and white aesthetic that made the piece feel very moody and stylish for this particular approach.
I very much enjoyed the fact that the whole film was in black and white. I thought that was really cool and felt a little different, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked some of the match cuts. I know that there were a lot where he'd be looking and it'd be like in his apartment, then he'd go back to his office, or like he'd be reaching for something and then it would switch to something else. I thought that was really, really cool, and I really, really loved that. My favorite shot was the dolly zoom. I always love when a dolly zoom is used. I could tell that that was used specifically so that you can see that he is on the brink of losing it. And I absolutely loved the use of that. I thought it was really great, especially with the way the pacing was throughout the whole film. And then lastly, I really enjoyed how the only pop of color you really got was his bloody red hands at the end, which I feel like really symbolized that like he was done being this innocent pushover type of person, and now he's this new individual who's not gonna take shit from anybody. And I thought that was really cool.
The sheer stress that comes from these workplace expectations that supersede the mental health of the worker. I really enjoyed that there was a scene in which someone was checking in on him, but unfortunately, what we see the consequence of this stress be is an exertion of physical violence, which happens more often than I think any of us would like to believe. This is a short piece, but really says so much about workplace stress.
Things that stood out in this was the choice to utilize black and white in this piece. It feels like our antagonist, or protagonist rather, in this piece is dealing with everything going wrong. This is showcased through the phone calls where he can't get past his opening spiel, the lighter that won't turn on, his boss that won't let up on him, making him feel as if he has one more shot or he's going to get fired soon and whatever. And then he takes out all his frustrations on his boss. And these frustrations had built over the course of the piece that finally it's like a release. This film to me represents the subconscious minds of a lot of people who are working a 9 to 5 job. I'm sure this is what a lot of people think about when their boss kind of starts nagging at them or when their day starts to get a little crazy. And I just thought it was a wonderful representation of that.
Showcasing the kind of grueling and repetitive nature that is like cubicle office life. And I personally liked the touch of the black and white aesthetic as well, because it further encapsulates that kind of dreary, dull lifestyle that our protagonist is enduring. And a lot of the editing is I enjoyed how the editing was used to further convey that cracking in his character, where it would use a lot of jump cuts to showcase that frustration, especially the phone call segment where he keeps calling these different numbers, and every time they would just immediately hang up. And with each call, the editing became more and more sporadic. All in all, I think this did a wonderful job with building up tension and then paying it off all at the end.
I really liked that it was black and white. And I think the camera work was great. A lot of nice close-ups, which I think are needed in a short of this type. I think the close-ups really help us feel more connected, I think, to the main character and what he's going through. Great editing here. I liked the subtleties, like him loosening his tie and his facial expressions. I thought the actor did a really nice job just kind of committing to his reactions and not rushing them. So really great job with that. The other main actor, who was kind of the jerk boss, was really great as well. I really like the shot of the employee when he was at the sink and you could see him through the doorway. I thought that was really cool. And then when he was sitting down, just a really cool choice there for shooting. I wrote down, this is a telemarketing nightmare. I mean, the boss was not supportive. He was such a jerk that how could you even flourish in a job like that? But, it's hard enough. And then when you get somebody like that breathing down your neck, yelling at you, always threatening to fire you. So I guess I feel like when he lost his shit on the guy at the end, I really didn't blame him. And I felt like he was taking his power back in a way. So for not having that support, like, dude, this is partly your fault, is almost like what I was feeling at the end when he did that. And I think when he said I quit and walked away, I really liked that the camera stayed there for a minute. Very creative and really nice subtleties throughout.